doesn't even look like both campers are lit up.
Okay, we're back to telling.
So where was I? We were going to set up a sign for the person that hadn't arrived yet. So we hiked a couple hundred yards out of camp back to the road, and then a couple hundred yards up the road to find a fence post or signpost to nail the directional sign on for the late arrival.
Can you see out the... Oh, there you go.
Oh, was that too high?
Yeah. He's looking at the sky.
And what happened was I nailed the sign on the post and then started walking back to camp, took about 3 or 4 or 5 steps, and something to my left was also paralleling the road, and I could hear it stepping on twigs and such. I turned and looked towards it, and I was face to face, 20, 30 feet away from something about as big as me, maybe a little bit bigger, pretty husky, not a thin one like we hear of up here, or have heard of. Pretty husky, brown, red, puff of fur on its head, continued down its back like a cap that you would see on a baboon and in some other great apes, but not as predominant. You see it more predominantly on the baboons than you do in the orangutans or gorillas. But it almost made it look like it had a hump on its back, or even a mane down its back. And it immediately turned its back to me and ran directly away from me into the forest. What it was doing was chopping the branches in front of it upward and out of its way. And it did that to get away from me, and all I saw was the branches close behind it. It was kind of surreal.
You were saying about the look on his face when it realized you were looking at him?
He definitely... I turned and looked at it, and it took another step or 2 or 3 before it realized I was looking at it. And it was almost like it could realize, it realized it could hear itself, and then it turned at me, and I was already staring at it. So it had that look of, oh my God, or oh crap, or, you know, whatever. And it was shocked. Its eyebrows went up, its eyes opened wide, and I could almost feel it saying to me, oh my God. And then it ran away. But it was very surreal as it ran away. It was almost like slow motion. And when it had that thought, it was almost like I could understand it or something. I'm not sure if it was communicating to me or if it was just, you know, because it was so human-like that I knew what the eyebrow rise meant to me. The wide open eyes.
Non-verbal communication?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, down in Rolls Creek, the last time I spotted one down there, I was using night vision, and it was near the camp, and I had the night vision on, and it stepped between 2 trees and looked at me, and I don't know if it was looking at the little red dot on my forehead, the illuminator on the night vision, or if it realized that I was looking at him. But he had the same kind of expression on his face, like, uh-oh, I've been seen, you know, or how can you see me? It's dark, you know. And it looked at me for a few seconds, and then it turned and stepped out of view. So, you know, I do think they can realize when they've been spotted, and they know how to play that very
Now,
good.
I have heard other people say that they think they can communicate with you mentally, and I don't know if that's true, but let's just suppose that it could be. If they could communicate with you mentally, could they also read your thoughts and maybe that is how they are so elusive.
Yeah. They know if you're hunting them, they're gone.
Right.
Yeah, that would explain a lot of stuff. Yeah, I've been trying to make sure that I've always had good thoughts and intentions towards them, so that if they can't do read my mind, that they know that, hey, come sit down and have a peanut butter sandwich with me,
Right.
you know? But I haven't had any of them take me up on that yet. However, we did have the one come into camp and steal the Diet Coke and a foil of chocolate chip cookies.
Well, he wasn't stealing it if you invited him.
Well, that's true too. Yeah. Now, I'm wondering if they got the can open, or if they sat up there above the camp and watched us popping tops, you know, drinking soda and stuff, and they said, "Hey, we need to try that." So, or maybe they just take and bite it. I don't know.
Quick open top.
Throw it on a rock or something like that, you know. Those sodas will explode.
Squirt them at each other.
Yeah.
That would make for some sticky fur.
Yeah. Well, at least it's Diet Coke. Diet. But, you know, that same ice chest that they took the Diet Coke out of, that had meat in it. It had sausage, it had hot dogs, it had a couple of steaks, you know, but it didn't even go for that. It fished out of soda.
And if a human was coming into your camp to steal things, it probably would have stole those meats too.
Yeah, yeah, especially a feral person that's
Right.
living off the land.
You wouldn't take a soda and a cookie.
Yeah, definitely steal the meat. I had a dozen eggs in there too. So what do you think about this tree that we found that's sitting on top of its trunk?
It's pretty amazing. I literally would take King Kong to place that there, though.
Yeah.
But who's to say they don't? I don't know.
Maybe it's a joint effort.
Yeah.
I know they don't know how to use levers and pulleys and ropes and stuff like that, because that's what man would have had to use, or a crane. But, getting into some really rough stuff here again.
Yeah, this is near the bottom of the road, and it gets rough again. Is this the cave?
Yep, that's the water tank.
We're at the youth tank.
Yeah.
Youth camp. The water tanks in the youth camp.
You know, they have campers here that watch the youth camp here, and we've stopped and talked to them before, but most of them are very elderly, and I don't think they stick their head outside their trailer
At night?
at night. They kind of lock themselves in for the night. And
His truck's still there.
is it still there? But I've talked to a couple that says, yeah, there's some weird sounds and weird noises that happen in here all the time, you know. And others don't even want to talk to you, you know. Get out of here, you whippersnapper, you know. Show you how old they are. I'm 60 years old and they call me a whippersnapper.
That's the gate. Yeah.
I would like to see some animals dug on it. excitement going here, a little adrenaline.
Even an elk and the deer in the headlights.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I've been kind of wanting to do this, drive down through here like this at night with the night vision camera to see if we could see something. And it looks like we might be unsuccessful on this road, but we still have a little ways to go to get back to camp. So you never know. You know, there's so much food in this area. We were talking to the Channel 10 news people who were with us today, and you know, I was naming off some of the foods we got in here. You know, the ferns are like asparagus; you can eat them. We have wild onions, black walnuts, apples, grapes. Trout, deer, elk, turkey, see, black raspberries, choke cherries, acorns,
Some wild strawberries.
wild strawberries. They're a little harder to find though, but they're in here. Oh, we're going rough road again. But the amount of food that's available in here could support several large creatures. We're not talking just supporting a Bigfoot. We're talking, I think there's enough food in here to support a family, a clan. Maybe as many as 10 to 12, maybe 15 of them. But the area is so large that only 15 of them, you'd have to cover a whole lot of area to see one, unless you can talk them into coming seeing you.
Right.
Okay, we're back on the main highway.